not more than that early on. You begin to wonder, I mean, how closely this is tied to the direction of oil and commodities. And if commodities themselves are topping out, if Cleveland Cliffs has as well.
Yeah, so great questions. I appreciate you bringing it up. It saves me a lot of tweets later on. Specific to Cleveland Cliffs, before we do the commodities in general, I think one has to ask oneself, are we late in this economic cycle, or are we still near the middle? I think my answer is obvious from the earlier comments I made, that we're still in the middle. At worst, we're getting a growth slowdown here. And frankly, I think it might just be a scare. Cleveland Cliffs. Okay, look, the analysts still have $5 billion in EBITDA for this year. Guess what? They did $600 million of EBITDA in the first month of this year, and February and March are going to be a lot higher based on price increases out of the Ukraine mess. So I just think the analysts are way behind on this. That's specific to Cleveland. Now, to the commodity space in general, I look at the economy. I see factories being built. I see infrastructure. I see jobs plentiful. And the one thing that's missing that would have me worried is some sign of overinvestment anywhere. We haven't had a Y2K boom. We haven't had a housing boom. I just don't see the overinvestment that would lead me to think that Cleveland Cliffs or the commodities in general are going to fall off a cliff, no pun intended. I do want to point out one final comment that, you know, I wake up every morning and I go to sleep every night thinking about Cleveland Cliffs. Yes, that is my life. Because do you think I want to give Dr. Evil a baseball bat to hit me over the head with? I don't. I can't have that happen.
Yeah, I understand. But in all seriousness, I mean, you got to figure the economy is going to slow from where it was and where it.
Don't put that in your dating profile.
Exactly. And where it is as he tries to get back on track. And as the situation in Russia, Ukraine, if there is a positive resolution to that, you got to believe that oil prices may not see those highest levels. Cleveland Cliffs is up better than 50%, Jim, in 3 months. Yeah. What is the real reason to believe that it doesn't revert somewhere back to whatever you think was normal before this incredible environment that goosed the stock existed?
Yeah, listen, it's the right question to ask. The analysts right now, as I said, see $5 billion this year in EBITDA going down to $3 billion next year and $2 billion the year after that. That's fundamentally where I disagree. You look at all these factories being built. You look at the pent-up demand for cars. You look at infrastructure. You look at the rebuilding that's going to go on in Europe when this mess is done, and there will be rebuilding. There's going to need to be a Marshall Plan going on. All that supply chain onshoring. I just don't see the drop-off in steel demand, and I don't see the overinvestment that would have led to the drop-off.
Are you saying it's up 40% in a month? Is that you think that's justified?
I do. I actually do. And the reason I say that, Scott, is because 2 weeks ago, and I talked about this to you, 2 weeks ago, they said that their January EBITDA was $588 million. That number is a blow-the-doors-off number, and that's before Ukraine. That's before steel prices started to rise, and you had the curtailing of supply from Eastern Europe. I do think it's justified. Now, a 6% pullback today, it's going to happen. On that march to 40, it's not going to go up in a straight line, but you've got to buckle your seatbelt and stay with it.
All right. We'll certainly keep our eyes on that one. And look, I mean, the top of the show, I tell you how great you are, and 45 minutes in, I got to put you on your heels a little bit. We're about 2 basis points, the spread on the 2- and 10-year Treasury notes. Closely watching that to see if it does invert, as we worry about a recession and what the message of that chart is right there. We're back right after this.